Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of Straight Up Sugar Podcast. I am your host, Calvin. Hey, it is a brand new season, and you know we cannot do this podcast without my love of music. So welcome to a brand new edition of Music Monday, y'all. We've had some incredible artists on the show. You all have said that Music Monday has become a favorite of yours on our podcast that we do. And I love finding different, unique artists that kind of just stand out. And you don't find that anymore in music. So today is no different because I have definitely found an artist who definitely stands out. And we're gonna go talk to him right now. So make sure I got this right. Today's guest, and I'm gonna butcher this, Layne Tadesse. Is that correct? Correct me.
It's Layne
Tadesse.
Yeah,
Layne Tadesse.
Tedesse. You got it.
Tedesse. See, I'm always butchering names, but nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. See, and
Yeah,
so,
man.
but thank you, Layne, so much for coming. As LT, as they call him, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, for being our guest today.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. So, Layne, LT, man, you have some great music, and I had to get you on the show because one, like when I heard your music on the well, first off, let me tell y'all how I found Layne. Okay, so me and him, we never go to sleep apparently, and so sometimes when we're up late at night, we go to this app called Clubhouse. And that's where you find some artists, and usually they have competitions. Layne was in one of those competitions, and he stood out. And I was like, "Wow, I gotta have this brother on my show." And so, like I said, I keep saying thank you, but dude, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Because
Appreciate that.
when I heard you in the room, I had to follow you, had to stalk you. Say, "Hey, come on the show, man." So we got him here, y'all. But for the people who do not know you, right? Tell us about you. Tell us your name correctly, your name and where you're from, and all that.
Yeah. My name is Layne Tadesse, and I was born in Eritrea. That's in East Africa, right along the Red Sea. So geographically, my country is located above Ethiopia, neighboring Sudan, Somalia, and Djibouti. So we're like right along the coast of the Red Sea. So that's called Eritrea. Eritrea is pretty much like 31 years of independence. So it's pretty brand new. And I'm a proud product of Eritrea, but I was born there but I was raised here in the US. So with that said, I know my culture really well, and I've been back. I've been done, shows and mini tours there as well. The name is big. So yeah.
Way to go to represent, man. Hey, you know what? Like, if y'all listen to this show, we have Africa represented so well on this show from because actually when I talked to him, I was like, "Are you in Kenya right now?" Because it kind of sped up to Kenya because we have most of our listeners in Africa because we have African guests. So I love to see that we were able to get so much African representation on our show, and this is no different. So man, that's great to hear that. And so the way I make Tedesse, I like the way I'm trying to get the lingo down. Tedesse, like how do you say it again? Can you just say it for me?
Yeah, Tedesse.
Tedesse.
Yeah.
Tedesse.
Okay. LT is good. LT is pretty
LT is good. Yeah, but
the quick way.
I like to Tedesse. I like that, man. That's
my artist name is Layne Tadesse.
I love that though, man. That's pretty cool. But
yeah, man.
Tedesse. All right, I got it now. I'm gonna get it now back. I promise you. But yeah, thank you so much. Like I said, me and him, we met each other on Clubhouse, man. Can you tell me about your experience on Clubhouse? And we have a mutual friend on Clubhouse. Can you tell us who that mutual friend is?
Yeah. Clubhouse. I'm still, it's like a little. I've been involved with Clubhouse a little over a year, and I was introduced to Clubhouse by a good friend of mine, Rican Worldwide.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Fuego. Yeah. one night he goes, "Yo, man, you need to tap into Clubhouse because you got good music. People need to know. People need to hear you." He kept bugging me, buzzing me, calling me like, "Yo, I'm sending you the invite. You gotta download this app." Like, what the heck is this? And then I logged in. And I'm like seeing all these channels, people in there networking and doing so forth and so on. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I need to be out there and let people hear my music, even though it's out there, in that other part of the world, like on the digital platform. But I rather it's always good to engage your music upon real listeners, like right there, real time. You know what I'm saying? So it gave it a good look, like, look at me. You met me, you heard my music. There I am talking to you about who I am and what I do, where I come from. So it's a really cool bridging the gap. You know what I mean? It brings a lot of artists in their craft together in a very good way, to be honest with you. So it's
And
cool. It's a cool little app.
and definitely beneficial for those who can't, I guess, get typically radio play. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or get their music, challenged or whatever. But man, when I tell y'all, he has some great, phenomenal music, and we're gonna have more with Layne Tadesse, LT on the other side of it. Make sure you stay tuned. This is a Straight Up Sugar Podcast, Music Monday.
What now? Recall them, all of our martyrs, yeah. Recall them, they could walk, yeah. Recall them fallen fighters.
I think straight up means to be able to speak in a way that is straight up, to be honest, and to speak your truth.
Raw, uncut, you know what I mean? It's blunt, straight to the point. This is what it is.
It's just a place to be open and honest, and that's what I appreciate most about it. And it provides a place for community members to come together and just be straight up with each other about things that are going on in the world, because it affects all of us.
Unfiltered, raw, with all the cursing that Calvin does.
Straight up is just being real, telling it like it is, being you.
Being solid, being who you are, no matter what it is, no matter what situation you're faced with. All right, this is who you are. It really speaks to me, saying it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. Straight up.
All right, welcome back to the Straight Up Sugar Podcast. Today I am joined by my musical guest. It is Musical Monday, and my music guest, Mr. Layne Tadesse. I'm pretty sure I keep messing it up, but it don't matter. We call him LT, but he has made his way to our show. If you guys were listening to the commercial break, you heard a sample of it, but this is why I had to have him on the show today. So once again, sir, thank you for coming on our show today.
I appreciate that.
Yes,
Here
sir.
we go.
Yes, sir. So, this is straight up, man. So, like I said, I like to find artists, okay, LT, who definitely stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And your style of music, especially coming from Africa to the States, is very different. But you have a way to do that. And, you're in California, and you mix that together. And it kind of, I saw your music videos and stuff, like, it fits so well. And I love it. Like, can you just explain to my listeners and our viewers, like, what is your style of music? Can you break down your style of music?
Well, my style of music is it's a derivative from where I come from, like my background, which is East Africa, Eritrea, and the style of music where I grew up on was listening to is our cultural music. So with that said, I also grew up listening to more island music, like growing up listening to Bob, Peter Tosh, all the, Burning Spear. Yeah, that's all I was listening to. And our traditional Eritrean music, which is the like revolutionary music, which is conscious. So I was brought up into that consciousness, writing about situations, writing about love, writing about, you know, the things that goes on. So I guess you can say my style of music is more like world at the same time. I'm like, you know, I can pretty much fit in different variations of style, being more versatile, you know, say. So it just gives me like an advantage, an edge of a lot of artists that are out there that try to do things which is outside of their capacity, but not yet mastering it and so forth. But for me, it becomes natural because I was around, I witnessed, I've seen so many things growing up and know so many things within the struggle, you know, the situations where I come from. So my music like pretty much intertwines with all of that, you know, and it gives me a lot of depth when I write and then when I sing. So I'm pretty much like, you know, it's, how could I describe it? It's world music, but I can also do more like commercial, but the commercial is more, it's not like talking crazy. Like
Yeah.
I still hitting them with some lyrics, you know, with relationships and heartaches and stuff like that. But I'm not talking, you know, crazy with, you know, things that I don't even have, big cars,
Yeah.
big watches,
Oh,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. I don't do that. You know,
Yeah.
it's all about writing about conscious reality, like what I feel, what I know, which is in real world. So that's just me. You know, I'm a world music artist. I guess that's how you could describe my music.
And I really I like that answer because I feel like that natural music doesn't really have a genre to it. That makes sense
Yeah,
because as long as it's pure and it's coming from the heart, it's to me it's.
exactly.
I think all music is just soul music because if it's really coming from your soul, that's soul. You know
Yep.
what I mean? But like it still has your because it's your soul, it's your identity. So I really don't think that you can really box in music as a genre in itself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you know, because it's yours, you know, and nobody else can duplicate LT. Nobody else can duplicate your style or your music or what
No.
your experiences. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be no island boy if you've never been to the island. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff kind of bugs me a little bit. But, you know, just to have that natural feel to it. And no shade to those brothers that did that. You know, that's their
Nah,
music.
that's yeah.
That's their music. But, like, it sounds like just, you know, it's not fake. You know what I mean? It's their real
Hmm.
music. And I think people, real listeners or real fans of music, can hear the fakeness in your music, that it's not authentic. Does that make sense? Even though it
Yep.
sounds good, you know, real people who love music can really say, you know what, this is pure. And I think I pride myself in doing that. And that's why I had you
Hmm.
on my show because I can hear it. I'm like, okay, this is pure. This is real. This is organic. You know what I mean? So that's
Right.
how I feel about it. And to hear you say that, you know, you want to be worldwide, like what made you really like, well, you know, how long, when did you start doing this? When did you start picking this up and say, you know what, I'm gonna start doing music because this is what I've been through, and I think I can put this to some songs and some lyrics, stuff like that. Well, like, you know, when did you get started on this journey?
Man, I started back in Philly when I was when we came to the United States as a refugee. Um, so we were living in a refugee camp in Sudan. So from Sudan we came down to the U.S. We won the lottery for the family and whatnot. So when we ended up in New York. From New York, the whole family drove Greyhound to Philly. So I went to school in Philly, and I was introduced to music, even though I was listening to a lot of music when I was younger back home. And I was introduced to music like choir class in Philly, and I fell in love singing in choir. And I never forget my music teacher, Miss Jenkins in Philly. I always remember it because she told me one thing that still stays with me. I don't know if she's still around. It's been a long time, but she said, "You have good voice. Don't ever give up." And she said that, and that resonated with me. It still resonates with me. So that was like, how old was I? I was 12. I was almost 12 years old. So when that happened, we the family got kind of like, yeah, this is kind of cold. The East Coast is kind of cold, so we made our way to the West Coast. So now I've been, in California ever since the late '80s. I've been in Cali. So still continued doing my music in Cali, still, learning my notes and pitches on my own, with keys, making sure I don't have no tonality issues.
Mhm.
I was always pressing on the keys, getting the notes, being able to hear myself, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So those things like developed over the years. And then uh, high school, same thing. I was singing a lot in high school. And then college, when we went to college, I met up with a couple of friends, and they were like, yo, man, you need to join, see if you can, audition for our group. It was this group called Black Fugitives. This was in college. So the Black Fugitives were like a combination of hip hop and rap, you know what I mean? Like hip hop, rap, and singing. So they needed a singer, and I auditioned. They loved my vibe because I had that reggae and R&B feel to it when I sing. And they're like, "Yo, man, you got this. You got the pot. You got the set. You're in. We can't audition nobody else. So you just already automatically in." So I joined them. We ran, and we were recording, doing a lot of shows. We were recording on an ADAT. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah, I do.
Like the reel to reel, the
Mhm.
big tape reel to reel
Yep.
ADAT.
Mhm.
So that tells you I'm an OG. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah.
We used to do that. We used to record all our stuff on ADAT and reel to reel. So growing, just the process that you trust yourself, you trust the process throughout, the trials and tribulations, and knowing that, hey man, this could not be it, but you still love it. You do it because you love it. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing it just to be like, another Akon or whatever. I was doing it because LT loved music. Music is his medicine. It makes me feel good.
Oh
I'm
man,
still
I love that answer. I'm sorry.
I'm still doing it. It's my way of getting away from pain and getting away from distraction, getting away from doing the things that I'm not supposed to be doing. So music really kept me intact, kept me, in where I'm supposed to be, centered in a way. There I am, still doing good music because of the center feeling that I've always carried on. So with that said, man, that's pretty much it. Like after college, I just continued. The groups faded out. I was still continuing doing what I do solo, and then I joined, this band called Fireburn. After that, Fireburn, I had to move to San Diego. Now I have my own, brand, my own label, my own distribution, and my own, band, two bands that I can go to whenever I want. So I'm pretty much flexible on the things that I want to do. I'm in control of my own destiny in a way, like recording the whole nine. So I mean, I can be here talking to you about the journey from Philly all the way to here for a while. I just want to like break it down to make it more,
No, you're good, man. Like, and I'm over here cheesing because, like, I love people who love music, and what stood out to me right quick was the fact that you say you're not doing it to make money, you're doing it because you love music. And people just think, and like, cause me, like, I come from radio and, I used to do house parties a lot, just DJing.
yeah,
And just to hear you so excited about music, man, that makes me excited too. Cause I see some guys now, I just want to do it, but I want to be the next Drake. Nothing wrong with that. But it's like, man, like, it's a journey. It doesn't come fast, man. You really
yeah,
gotta, and when you do make it to the pinnacle, you can go look back and say, you know what, man, I did it. And you can
yeah,
go back and look at the black refugees and be like, black fugitives and be like, dang, man, like look
hmm,
where I came from. You know what I mean? And like,
yeah,
just I tell you one story right quick. I wrote a song about a girl that I used to talk to, a music
uh-huh,
fan. Made a whole rap song about it. I went back to say, what was I thinking at 17, man? Like, why was I in love with that? And like, and it's just like, man, just that's part of the journey, man. Just
that's
to
a part of the journey,
hear those stories about music, where your music come from, and like,
right?
me is like, I can that's why I love like MJ, because you can hear the pain in his music and stuff. And like, with Michael Jackson, I had to go back as an adult with adult ears to hear some of his music. I'm like, oh wow, this makes more sense now. You know what I mean? And so,
Right.
man, more power to you. Like, so
Appreciate that.
you were a singer. You love music, but I want to know this: do you play instruments as well?
I played a little bit of our traditional. It's called a kerar, five
Mm.
string. It's like an acoustic guitar.
Okay.
But I've been picking up my own acoustic guitar, play a little bit of percussion as well, and some keys,
Okay.
I'm all self-taught by ear, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But my instrument is my voice, to be honest with you.
Okay. Now I ask this question on every episode, and you got to be straight up, okay? You got to be straight up. When it's LT, he's over here, he's over here in his thoughts and minds. When you produce music or when you create music, are you lyrics first or instrumental first?
Oh man,
take us to the journey of you doing something new.
It's more like melody for me.
Mm-hmm.
I hear the melody in my head. Once that melody is locked in, and then the instrumentation gets complete. Once that instrument is put together, the puzzle's already complete. The only thing left is writing down the feelings, the lyrics of what you created in your head with that melody that's already created. So the writing lyrics is pretty much last for me.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I like that answer. I like that. So another question before we go to break, okay? Who are your top 5 influences in music? Top 5.
Top 5. Oh wow.
Doesn't matter what genre.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I could say first and foremost, Bob Marley. Okay. And then you Burning Spear, Michael Jackson, Sting. Yeah, Sting. And I want to say being from that era, Whitney Houston as well.
Yeah. You got like a lot of Universal artists on there. You said Sting, like, oh man, you really do like Universal music thing. You said Sting, because his music is like, man, just Universal. I like that. Sting, Bob Marley, Whitney, and then okay, I like that. That's a powerhouse though. Some powerhouses, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all, if y'all have not listened to this episode today, you can see somebody who really loves music. We're gonna have more with Layne Tadesse, LT on the other side of the break. This is our Music Monday. Make sure you come back to hear more. Stay tuned.
Get a corner, you never get a corner unless you see it. You never get a corner unless you see it. I know you see them, but you pretend like you don't see them. For a long time, I tell you what I see when you're in the streets, 'cause I'm living far from prosperity. And for a long time, I tell you what I see when you're in the streets. I seen them tempered with poison. So when they ask me, when my sister that sleeping in the box, when my brother that selling all the rocks, and my cousin in the jailhouse lock, 'cause them say that we're trifling. Now my sister sell her body on the block, and my brother's busy running from the cops. No matter how we try, the cycle never stops. So I have to keep fighting until I drop. I never stop. I got to speak on what I see in the streets until you hear me.
In the 2 years that Straight Up has been a podcast, we've gone to where most podcasts have never gone before. From multiple celebrity guests to groundbreaking episodes, Straight Up is changing the podcast game. And now that season 6 is finally here, we plan to continue leveling up with our exclusive season 6 merchandise. That's right, grab your 80s retro inspired merch today. Just visit our website at straightupshowpodcast.com. That's STR8upshowpodcast.com. Shirts as low as $19.99.
Sultan Salahuddin from Southside Season 2 out right now. Make sure you tune in to the Straight Up Show podcast, because that's where it's happening. You dig?
All right, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Straight Up Show podcast, Music Monday with Layne Tadesse. He has been giving us so much music knowledge today about his music, his style of music, and if you're watching this on YouTube right now, you can see his expression on his face about how he's in love with music. And I really think that people who do music, you can really tell their expression why they love music, and those who were just, and I'm very big on this, but those who were just doing the music just to do it. Like, but this gentleman today has definitely been giving us some gems and telling us his love for music, and you can see it on his face and you can hear it in his voice as well. So once again, thank you so much, Layne Tadesse, LT, for coming on our show today.
Thank you for having me again and again. Let's do this.
Yes, sir. All right, so talking about your music is universal and things like that. You have mutual friends and Rican Worldwide. Like, are you that people use you for your voice and other music? And I know that this past 2 years it's been rough. Like, how did this pandemic affect your music, or did it have any play on your music at all?
It did a little bit in the beginning. In the beginning, it kind of got in the way because you have to learn to adjust, learning to adjust to the new way of doing things, just adapt, being able to adapt at the same time. So, I mean, it was adapting to what was going on. So you got to be quick with it. So everyone, everybody has their own pace of adapting to the situation that we were in with the pandemic. But for me, it's actually kind of like helped me a little bit, because it was more of like, I need to, instead of worrying about what's going on in the world, I need to start, get busy with my craft, get distracted with something that I love to do, which is, I have these producers sending me tracks and music, and I was just busy, getting the ink on paper, and at the same time taking care of my, my little ones, and doing the virtual learning. It was a lot going on around the house. But music was a good way to like go throughout the day, make the day go better. So I'm telling you, man, music is a healer in any way.
It really is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It really is. And so I just want to say, I love your music videos, man. Like, your music videos, like, and I got to give you credit because your videos tell a story, and like, you don't really get that in a lot of music videos. It actually tells a story, and I was like, man, the new one you just dropped, I like that one too. The new one,
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet, yeah. You tell a story, and I was like, man, where is he going with this? And so I like that you put as much effort in your videos as much as your music as well. Like, that really stands out to me. Like, you really say, you know what, I want people to take this away from my music video when they see it. So I really like the story you was telling in that music video. So, man, that really stood out to me too, because you kind of like what do you call it? You like all in one, man. You can do it all. Just
Man, it's. I mean, to be honest with you, man, I mean, this goes out to all the artists out there. If your content, if you're trying to portray something like a message or any type of a situation with your song, with your audio, and then you decide to do the visual, you really got to make it towards where it makes sense for the viewers. You know what I'm saying? Like how you were saying, there's a storyline for everything. So that storyline's got to be, it's got to have some type of a continuity. You can't have an audio and then your video is like, what is that? Yep. So you really got to be mindful. I mean, this is just being, honest to yourself, being true to yourself on what you're doing. So you can't, be all over the place. Stay in one lane.
And like, when you and I, we were in that clubhouse room usually, and like, some people, I mean, when you hear these other artists, like, sometimes, like, I think this is, and correct me if I'm wrong, we were in one room when there was money involved about the competition, right?
Yeah.
And one thing the judges were saying is like, don't bring us polished stuff. You just spoke to like the younger artist or the other artists, like how important it is to have your stuff polished and ready to go when you're in that kind of spotlight on apps like Clubhouse, who have like the Ricans and the other people who actually have been in the music game?
And that was kind of tricky. You know, you can't tell somebody don't bring us all this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to be ready, no matter what. Your work's gotta be, you know, speak and span. It's got to be clean. You know, you got to have the audio, the frequency's got to be right. You know what I mean? So people are listening. I know it's Clubhouse or whatever. You know, it's got to go through that different channels of frequency at the same time. But you got to give it all. You got to give it your best, whatever it is. Just in general, life. It's not just music.
Yeah.
You got to give it your best, whatever it is that you do in life, in order to know that, hey, man, you will always know, be like, at least I gave it my best.
Mm-hmm.
And your conscience will not, you know, mess with you along the way. Once you know in your mind, you gave it all your best, you did what you can. And the next man is not going to judge you because you know yourself that you gave it all. You gave it your best. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Those are the things that a lot of artists really need to hone in and understand what giving your best really means. So that's just, I just like to analyze it that way. To be honest with you.
And like I said, people got to be fair to criticism too, because it's like, man, like you guys got to really just think about what because these are producers who are giving you free knowledge. And man, I was like, this is stuff you can't get anywhere else. Like,
no,
take advantage of it, you know? And so that was my really, that was really my agitation with that night. It was like $25,000, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah, I remember that.
$25,000 for the competition. I was like, you know, so that was crazy. So, you know, so we talked about you doing melody first, right? Nowadays, you know, pandemic's over with right now. Pandemic's over with right now. What is your music like now? Like, what, you know, you get your melody and stuff and you get all this taken care of. Like when you write, what are some of your influences? What are you trying to tell right now in your music?
Right now in my music, what I'm trying to tell is basically, I mean, it's always been situation, you know, like with what's going on around the world, especially like, for example, you know, what's happening in Ukraine and Europe and all that situation. So with that said, my project that's coming up, it's titled Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay.
So it's gonna have those things, those types of songs that's gonna, you know, lead into that. At the same time, somewhere in between, there's gonna be some feel good music as well. So it's gonna be a combination. I'm gonna take my listeners through a wave. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take them up and I'm gonna take them down. Hey, pay attention to what's going on in the world. And then take them up again. Hey, let's have a good time. You know what I mean? That's just the way life is. Life is a wave, man. It's always like, you know, there's no steady still wave. It's always up and down, and we got to learn to deal with it.
Yep. Sodom and Gomorrah. What made you come up with this name? Well, obviously, but what made you choose Sodom and Gomorrah?
It actually correlates to what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Even regardless of what you write, what you're saying on the album, that term goes along to what's really going on. To me, that's just my opinion. We're going through like some type of a reset, to be honest with you.
I feel it.
The world is going through a reset. So we might not know it, but there's a lot of things that's just going to shift. It's going through that reset. There's going to be a lot of ordeals that we're going to have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Which we are already dealing with everything just going crazy, going up high, prices, everything, economy. Those are the shift, the reset in between what's been taking place. So Sodom and Gomorrah, it's time. We need to really be conscious, be ready for that type of situation, which is already happening. It's here. But we are trying to ignore it.
You can't, because whether you like it or not, it's going to be here. And I'm glad you said it, because I share those same sentiments with you as well, because I feel like it's like, you know what, this has to be a reset, because I'm seeing a lot of stuff being more equal now. I mean, it's slowly coming like to an equal playing field, and
Yeah.
whether you want to like it or not, it's here. We have a lot of knowledge at our expense and our disposal, and like we have to be ready for it and use it
Right.
and take advantage of it while it's in our face right now. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
that's what I really agree with you on that. And we might talk a little bit more outside of this podcast because
Oh man, for real. Like I was saying, when I say that with that name, like people need to realize music is a weapon of hope, and it can be a weapon of peace, a weapon of love. You know what I'm saying? Music is like, it's something that we need to all hone in and gravitate, because it could be anything you want it to be. You can communicate through music. During the armed struggle in my country, they were communicating with music because they were suppressed. They didn't have access to the radio. They didn't have access to the network. They had access to music, singing, recording. So they would do that, communicate, to crush the enemy.
it's crazy. It's so much history, man. It's so much history that I wouldn't mind going to your country. I wouldn't mind going to Africa, period, and just to see like, where I come from, and just to hear the history of our people, man. I would just love that, man. And like me, I try to produce music as well, but I just wanted that, like, even right now, the world is loving Afro beats. And like, yeah, y'all should get on board. Like, you should have been on board, and you can never duplicate us. You know what I mean? So,
no.
Wow. So, Sodom and Gomorrah, when does that come out? Is it coming out this year, next year, or
this year?
This year, you have a date
coming
for
out
it yet,
this
or
year, before summer?
Before summer? Oh, wow. So this might be a little exclusive right now. We're getting some firsthand. Okay, yeah. So with that being said, how can people reach you? How can people get in touch with you and get your music? Like, tell us how they can reach you, and give us all your social media handles.
Oh, definitely. People can reach me through Instagram, which is Layne, LAYNE _Tadesse, TADESSE, S as in Sam. And then on Facebook, it's Layne Tadesse Music / Facebook. And then they can reach me on through my website, which is my first and last.com, LayneTadesse.com, real easy, LAYNETADESSE.com. And also they can reach me through the label as well, newnationrecords.com, newnationrecords.com as well. So I'm always, I'm always in front of the social media world, Twitter, same thing, New Nation Record too, as well. That's pretty much that, man. So I just want to thank you, man. Appreciate that.
No, thank you for blessing us with your presence on this show. And of course, if you all didn't catch all his stuff, we'll have it on the ticker below him, and you can see it. And then if you're listening, we'll have it in the show's episode as well, in the description. Before we let you go, I got to ask you, this is a question that I ask everybody. Layne Tadesse, why should people listen to your music?
Straight up. They should listen to my music because it's something for your heart and soul. It's something for you to move, to get better, to understand the world, to understand where you're going, where you're gravitating, to make it through the day, basically, in a way. So that's probably one of the main reasons.
There it is, man. Hey, Layne Tadesse, thank you so much once again for coming on the Straight Up Show podcast, Music Monday. Hey, y'all, be on the lookout for Sodom and Gomorrah, his new project coming out pretty soon. Sir, man, you came on the show, you did your thing, and I'm excited to hear this new music. Like, first off, I'm really excited to see it. So make sure y'all stay tuned in with him. That's the end of our show today for Music Monday. I want to thank our wonderful guests, Layne Tadesse, LT. We have new merch out right now. Make sure you join the conversation online. We've just finished our brand new website. Got revamped, so make sure you go to our website at straightupshowpodcast.com. That's STR8 upshowpodcast.com. We have Patreon page to support our Patreon, patreon.com/straightupshowpodcast 318. Until then, there's only one rule to our show. You gotta be
Straight up.
All right. And Lonnie, before you go, you got a little something for us, right?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's hear it for Layne Tadesse.
Here we go again. I said, here we go again. Here we go again, yeah. Right now, champagne just don't taste the same. Bittersweet, I cry tears, candy rain. Different high when the light hits your face. Can't help but chase, cause you make my heart race. When you're all piped up, you're never outdone. One night, get it right, curve the outcome. Really bad for my health, but I want some of you. It's the way, it's the way, it's the way we vibe. Run away, girl, open your eyes. This ain't a game, you done changed, but we're both to blame. But I'm losing you, I'm losing you. Oh, you want your head down, you're wigging out. Head over heels, that's why you're flipping out. Love go crazy, soul go shy. I try to live, but the sex too good. You look good, but you're up to no good. Figure it out, I'm on to the next. My own flex, wanna flex, but she's stuck in regret. All you do is break my heart. They love me like I've never been loved before. I'm holding on to pieces of us tearing apart. Don't want this thing to end, but tell me, where do we start? This is bittersweet. I'm holding on to bittersweet. I'm holding on to the way you ain't got me intrigued. I'm stuck on you. Girl, you cold as ocean breeze. Proceed with caution, I'm stuck on green. I'm ready to go. Don't wake me up from this lucid dream. Don't wake me when you're all piped up, you're never outdone. One night, get it right, curve the outcome. Really bad for my health, but I want some of you. It's the way, it's the way, it's the way we vibe. Run away, girl, open your eyes. This ain't a game, you done changed, but we're both to blame. But I